Whew. All right. Okay. There we go. I'm going to get my identification. Whew. So I'm going to turn this off. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know why, but it wasn't showing the chat. So I don't like doing live streams without seeing the chat. I want to engage with the people that are coming to check me out. Come on now. Oh, people are reaching out while I'm doing a live stream. What's going on here? Or is it just, hey, it's Cyril. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Cyril. I don't know why it's... All right, so we got 1 people in the chat. 2, 3, all right. Ooh, I just looked down and boom, 2 popped up again. All right, PC Audits chat. Hey, PC Audits, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, bro. Haven't seen your videos lately. I've been getting away from the auditing for a little bit there. I go back and forth to it sometimes, but like lately, man, just watching the police, it's just too crazy. It's wild. It's driving me nuts in some ways, and I have to stay away from it because the level of vile behavior that I'm seeing right now from the police, and not just them, the government people, even like people in the hospital, like the nurses. Holy shit, man. Like, I have a story to share with you guys. I went to the hospital there on Sunday morning. I twisted my testicles. It's a long story. I'll share with you. It's a funny one, but not in this video. But anyways, I thought I was going to die. Anyways, everything's back together. Everything's good. It undid itself. I had to play the Rubik's Cube. And I'm not good at that shit, but I was able to do it. So we're good. Anyways, just my experience at the hospital upon leaving. I'll tell you all about it later in the stream. But right now, Alberta Walker, Behold a Pale Horse, and an amazing book. One operation I read about was Operation Garden Plot. Okay, I'll check that out. Garden Plot Operation. Okay. Well, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, as you can see, hey Prairie, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, like the title's called My Voice, My Right, My Life. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to share this with you guys so you understand how valuable, you know, when you talk about the First Amendment and Section 2B, freedom of conscience and freedom of expression, all that kind of stuff. Well, see, your voice, your right to speak and be able to express yourself. I sent you an email this morning. Oh, okay, sweet. I'll check it out. Check it out. So yeah, your voice is your life. Okay, so you know, in the beginning, God says the word. So see, in order for me to create, I need to be able to express myself. If I want to create good relationships and things like that, I need help or whatever. I need to be able to express myself. If I can't, if someone stops me from doing that, they're literally, symbolically trying to kill me. That's essentially what it means. So anytime you deal with a police officer and he's trying to silence you, try to take away your rights, you remind them that essentially when he's doing that, that he's actually making an attempt on your life. You know, when you hear police, I feared for my life. Well, not at this point, when you start having a police come at you and try to silence you, take away your rights and freedoms, well, you can scream the same thing and say, well, I'm fearing for my life right now. Hey, Cyril, how are you, brother? So yeah, essentially that's what it is. And then when you talk to them like that and express it to them, say, well, look, when you try to take someone's voice away, you're essentially trying to kill them. You're attempting to murder me right now. That's essentially what it means. It's like, because you need your voice. You need to be able to express yourself, and anyone that tries to silence you. And right now, you're in the States, Canada, you know, trying to film things like that's a form of expression. That's a way of being able to express what's going on, to have actual evidence to back your claims as to, whatever injuries happen or whatever you experienced, whatever you witnessed, if someone tries to take that away from you, well, they're trying to silence you. They're literally trying to kill you. Okay. And the other thing I want to share with you is essentially understanding that, see, when you provide someone with your identification, when they ask you for identification, literally what they're doing is essentially they're trying to steal your identity. That's what it means. Because, see, this is a driver's license. Okay. It's a door. And what they're trying to do is, see, they're trying to open up the door and get you to open it up for them by saying, here, I'm going to walk through this door, walk out from the realm of God, which I'm protected under God, my God-given rights, and I'm going to enter to the door of Janus and enter into the Holy Roman Empire, where now my God-given rights are not there anymore. They're not present. They're gone, and they've taken them away from me, and they've taken my identity because, see, I'm not this. This is not who I am. This is who I am. I come from the heart. So as soon as a police officer tries to ask you for identification, he's essentially trying to steal your identity. So you can actually accuse him of identity theft. And this is the thing, folks. It's very symbolic, okay, guys? Like, I'm discovering all this stuff, and I'm telling you, I know the law symbolically, and I understand how the Freemasons and the people that rule this construct, how they think, okay? The more and more I go into this, I'm telling you, I literally feel like Neo in the Matrix. I'm telling you, like I sometimes I look at things and it's like, even my name, Charles, you spell it, you add it up, gematria, it actually adds up to 11. Okay, it's like Janus, essentially the two pillars. Just like King Charles III, there's a reason why King Charles III is, it's Joannes, it's Janus, it's the two-faced God. All the Freemasons, look at, Switzerland, it's CH, Confederation Helvetica, 3 + 8 is 11. Again, it's the portal. So essentially, always remember that everything that you're doing is essentially you're going into a door all the time. Anytime you're entering into a contract, you are exiting one realm, entering into another realm. Symbolically, that's what it means, folks. Okay. So if you understand our system and everything, what it's based upon, it's all based upon this stuff. And if you really want to get good understanding of this, just watch Game of Thrones. Okay. And Game of Thrones is actually it's like they're using fiction, but really they're telling you exactly how this world functions. Okay. If you understand symbolically everything what Game of Thrones is expressing, especially when you understand the city of Bravos and, the many-faced God, which is Janus. Okay. And if you look at Arya's story, when she goes to the temple, the two doors, one's white, one's black, or whatever, is the two pillars of Jason and Boaz. And the guy's name that she gets training from is Jaqen H'ghar, which Jaqen, if you spell it, and you do the gematria, adds to 11. Same thing. So, and it's Jaqen and Boaz, which is the two pillars of Jaqen and Boaz, the white and black pillars. So, if you understand our system of law is very symbolic, folks, is that's what they're doing symbolically, getting us to enter portals. Okay. So, when you go to a port, well, you're entering a port. It's a portal. Okay. In porte in French, when you say French, and porte, which is a door. And so when you enter the port, now, see, the boat, the vessel, is entering a portal, entering a new jurisdiction, a new area, a new world, a new dimension where there's new rules and laws and regulations. But they do understand there is a law above all their laws that they have to fall in line with, that they have to respect. And if you know your rights and freedoms and things like that, your God-given rights, they have to respect and protect those rights and freedoms. They're on their obligation. They know this. But if you're stupid enough, in their mind, that's what they look at us as incompetent, as ignorant, that you are willing to enter the door of the Holy Roman Empire, enter the Holy Roman Empire, and believe that these people at the top are essentially the manifestation of God upon the earth. If you're that stupid, they say, oh, hey, well, you deserve to be a slave. And that's how they think, because they know they're not God. They know they're not walking upon it. They not represent God. They don't know how to express the universal truth, natural truth of the universe. That's not who they are. And that's how it used to be, folks. When you used to be a king or a pharaoh, or these people were at, the whole concept of what a god was essentially someone that was able to express the natural and universal laws of nature. That was essentially, they were able to do magical things. They were able to manifest and do great things, heal people, things like that. So people looked at them as gods and said, well, because they didn't know how to do that and they wanted to learn. So that was their leadership. And then eventually what would happen? Well, some of these people would get to their heads, and then all of a sudden, we got corruption and problems, right? So when you look at the whole thing of kings and pharaohs and emperors and all that stuff, it's all going back to, you know, these people thinking they're God walking the earth. Okay. So even like when you look at religion, so legion and Re, which is the legion of Ra, which is sun worship. When you say you're part of a religion, well, why is the sun always kind of, you know, representing God in a way? Because it's the most bright light in the sky. You know, it's there to represent all the other bright lights, but it's the brightest, right? So I'm just going to read some comments here. So they're under the Canadian Bill of Rights, it's our rights, part 1. Well, yeah, and see, remember this, man. Canadian Bill of Rights and all these things, these are not where your rights come from. They're expressed. Your natural rights are expressed through these documents, because law is expressed or it's oral. Okay, before law is written, it is expressed through the oral. Okay, and so when you go to court, things like that, you know, when they tell you to remain silent, you have the right to remain silent. Stuff. They're trying to take away your power. They're trying to intimidate you. Say, oh well, what you say can and will be used against you. That's a form of threatening you to not speak, to not use your power, to not use your life. Essentially, they're trying to kill you. Essentially, that's what it is. Then when they say you have the right to remain silent, it is actually a threat and telling you to shut up, do not talk, to not defend yourself against us, and let us have our way with you. Okay? So, because if you're not guilty of anything, if you haven't done anything right, you know, you don't mind talking to them and saying things and whatever. And they can't use it against you. If you have your opinion or whatever, as long as, you know, let's say you are incriminated or whatever, then, you know, then of course don't talk. But it's just to tell you that these people are brainwashed to do these kinds of things, and symbolically people do not realize what these things mean. And remember, guys, when you're using identification, okay, this is not your property. Okay, this doesn't belong to you. You're using copyrighted material, just like the calendar, the Gregorian calendar. Okay, and if you understand, the first pope was Janus. It's funny, eh? And if you understand, it's like the Gregorian calendar was created with just copyrighted material. And when we use it, which you understand, everything is about time, folks. It's all about record keeping. It's all time. That's why Switzerland makes the best watches. When you go to courts, it's all about courts of records and non-record. It's all about time. And you know how they use time against us? They create urgency to make us do rash decisions. So this, oh, well, you don't have time. You have to make a decision, because if you don't now, well, then, you know, so now it's taking you out of your intelligence, put you in the panic mode, and then they use time as a weapon against us. So you got to understand that when people start, you know, pulling these things on you to use time, well, that's a method to throw you off, to create urgency. And if you're in a sense of urgency, you're not going to be as intelligent as if you were calm. Okay. And if you understand what time is, you know, people say, oh, time doesn't exist. It does. Okay. Time is just, time backwards is emit. So you're emitting light, you're emitting energy in this moment, and you only have so much time on this planet, on this earth, in this world, in this realm, to emit that kind of energy. And so the people that enslave us, because the most important thing to them, the most sought out commodity is human attention. Well, they know that all of us have a time period that we are essentially going to be able to create with and whatever. And that's what they try to do, is convince us to give away our time, our energy, our light away willingly through these contracts, getting us to enter these doors without realizing that the door is going to close behind us if we're not careful, and then we're going to be stuck there. Okay, so you got to realize this stuff is that, you know, everything, the most, you know, sought out commodity is human attention. And why? Because it's time. It's the time, energy, emission of light that you have to offer, because the world does not go around on money, folks. Okay, money is a tool to get our human attention. The only reason why money has its value is because of our human attention, that we believe in it. If we did not believe in money, if I say to you, I don't believe in this $20 bill has $20 value, it will have no value. Okay, to me anyways. And if, let's say, everyone believes the same thing, then it has no value. That's where money, currency, gets its value from. Not from gold, not from silver, anything like that. And all these materials get their value from our understanding of what they have to offer to us. And that's what it is. And so when you understand everything we're going through right now, you know, our governments, we're all slaves right now. We don't have rights and freedoms like we think we do. Okay, that's why they're able to push through and do all these kinds of things. And most Canadians here don't understand this. But you need to understand the law symbolically. If you're going to fight our government right now, if you want to stand against them and stand for peace, love, kindness, appreciation, and doing the right thing and being of assistance to existence as compared to being of resistance to it, you need to know the law, folks. You need to understand it symbolically as well. Because if you don't understand your enemy's mind, how they think and what they do, in which that's their method, that's how they use against us is law, you're not going to win. You're just going to fart in the wind. It's not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. I'm telling you, you're not going to have fun. I'm having fun with this actually, because all I do with people now is when I see government officials sporting symbols, that's the best way to disarm these people. Once you show that them, not everyone else, but inside of themselves, once they realize that yes, they are a walking, talking contradiction because they do not understand their symbols that they sport, you got them. You got them. And then now you can disarm them, and then now say, see, now you need to listen, right? And that's the problem, folks. Is that's the ancient language is symbolism. It's all symbols. You need to understand it, folks, because every day we're being bombarded with symbols. We're like colors, symbols, slangs, sounds, tones. Like I used to do sales, okay, and in order to maximize your chances of selling something, you had to work on your tonalities. And if you ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street, okay, Jordan Belfort, he had videos and teaching methods of expressing how tonalities, see how I'm using tonalities to try to get your attention, right? And to convince people that those are what they use. So they use sounds, they use actors that know this stuff to constantly bombard us and manipulate us into working and investing in things like work against our best interest, but serves their best interest. The people at the top, people in Switzerland, all the people that own everything, right? So this is important, folks. Remember this, is that your voice, the First Amendment, Section 2B, your freedom of conscience, which everything is mine. The first principle, Hermetic principle, is everything is mine. Before anything comes into this world, it goes through here first. So you think about it, and then you manifest it. Well, if someone messes with that, your freedom of conscience, they're breaking the law. They're messing with you. They're violating your God-given rights, because you need your freedom of conscience. You need to have that clarity in order to be a productive part of society. You don't want to be a burden to society mixed up with all sorts of violent thoughts, all sorts of bad thoughts, of sexual thoughts or whatever that takes away from your creative energy. And that's why it's important, folks. So when you go in court, any kind of person that comes against you, trespasses against you, you can actually express to them how they've affected your freedom of conscience. And by explaining what their actions caused the problem inside your head, that you had violent thoughts because this person took away something from you that was precious to you, that's caused you harm. And now you were stuck having to deal with violent thoughts that you had to get out of your head because you wanted to essentially want justice, because it's only natural. When someone aggresses you, insults you, or causes you harm and takes from you, your natural reaction is you want justice, and you're going to want to react violently. That's natural, folks. It's just how it is. Okay. But now you have to have intelligence to be able to work through it and not act on those violent thoughts, right? So, all right, let me read some. If the police do that, they're doing it to themselves. Oh, absolutely. 100%, Alberta work. You're right. Absolutely. How do you do that with your name, adding up those numbers? What if you were adopted and your name changed? Well, the thing is just it comes down to like whatever name that you have. Also, you have to realize is that it's your mom or dad that gave it to you, right? So it's really, you didn't give it to yourself, but it was given to you, and now it's a gift. So now it's up to you to play with your gift, right? And so the way you add it up is, see, like if you look at numbers in the alphabet, and if you look at the alphabet, there's each letter has a number of 1 to 26. So, like my name is Charles. So CH, the first two letters is 38, just like Switzerland, the 3 8s, just to show you, right? Like, the moon, sun, and Saturn. CH is right in my name. And you add it up, it's 11, Janice. And but if you add up all my letters, Charles, Charles, it adds up. If you have to do like, so let's say 12, you have the letter number 12, you go 1 plus 2, which is 3. That's gematria. So essentially, like, you add so you have digits and then you have numbers, right? So digits is single, so 1 to 9, and then numbers is 10 all the other ones, right? Just in French, on a des chiffres puis des nombres. So numbers, chiffre, which is essentially digits. So essentially, if you add your numbers, they give you a digit, and then you could add all those together. Then, well, it ends up my name adds up to 2, but it's actually 11, and then 1 plus 1 is 2. But essentially, you'll see that all the time, like the 11s. Even like Jesus, the same thing. If you look at not Jesus, but Janus, you add it up, it adds up to that. There's so many things, like so many connections when you look at symbolism and numerology. They're all interconnected, okay, with the alphabet and things like that. Because the alphabet, they're symbols. Each letter is a symbol. Okay, so if you guys really like this kind of stuff, like I'm just learning as I'm going right now with What the Flock TV. Check this guy out, man. Like he doesn't just talk about this stuff. He talks about many things. This guy's like he's amazing. What the Flock TV. So yeah, like it's me. I study symbolism quite a bit, cosmology. I listen to guys like Bro Sanchez, Jordan Maxwell, Michael Tessarion. Like I listened to all these people for years and years, and I've been learning the law as well. And once I understood that the law was expressed through symbols, then I was like, okay, well, me learning all these things in the law, I'm gonna be really doing myself a disservice if I don't understand the symbols neither, right? Because every time I go into a courthouse now, every time I go, I can read what they're telling me when I'm going somewhere. I know where I'm going, right? So, all right. Time is measurement. Yeah, exactly. It's just it's measuring your energy and your light. And there's going to be a timestamp, right? There's a limit. Like, I mean, your light will never, it'll diminish, it'll be concealed, but it'll never disappear, it'll never go. But essentially, as time progresses, you will die. Given enough time, right? You will return to the earth. The law, land, air, and water, what you're made out of, will return back to the law, the land, air, and water. And that's the law. You know, that's how it is. We're not immortal. This realm, there's no immortality. There's, building it up and then breaking it down again. Just like your mind, when you look at something, your perception, well, what happens is that it breaks it all down, boom, 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 and then it builds it back up again in your mind. And that's why when we see things and witness things, sometimes we see things that weren't there. Well, it's because your mind, that's how you perceive things, is that it breaks it all down and then rebuilds it up again. But it doesn't mean that it's going to rebuild it the same way that it was perceived neither, right? So, yeah. I found a fella in the USA, Lieutenant Stephen Rogers, who really is concerned about Bill C-11 and has spoken out about the serious nature of it and put out an SOS for Canada. So again, Prairie, you're talking about C-11. Thank you for bringing that up, because I wanted to bring that to our attention too, because again, C-11 is 311, where you got 11, you got Janus again. See, they're trying to get us to enter another portal, another realm. C-11, 311. Well, look, what happened in the last 3 years, WHO, when they announced what was going on, the PAND, okay, I'm not going to go into details, but it was announced on March 11th, 311. Fukushima, 311. Okay, if you look at 311, it's 33, but also it's just the three faces of Janus, the three paths, which is the past, future, and present in the middle. And it's funny, I have a shirt. Hold on, I'm going to show this to you. This is funny stuff. Oh, there it is. Huh. I was actually going to wear it for the stream, but it doesn't smell too good. I've been wearing it for the last 2 days. It's one of my favorite shirts. Just to show you where I'm from. So, okay, it's a little inverted there, but this is Atari. Atari. Okay? That's Janus. Okay? That's Janus. So, Atari. So, 119. So, one or I, which is A 11, and I is the ninth letter, so it's 911 backwards. And also, you can add it all up, and adds to, wait a minute, if I did that correct. Yeah, so Atari, which is essentially Isis, Horus, and Seth, and is the three, because essentially Janus is not the two-faced god. Okay, it's not really, it's often symbolized that way, but it's the many-faced god. It's the many-faced god, just like in Game of Thrones. And it's just funny, like, if you understand the story, in Game of Thrones is that these people that are in these arts, they actually were slaves, and that they freed themselves, and then they essentially founded the city of Bravos, which is where the Iron Bank is, which is just like Switzerland. That's all the banking and everything, and then they had all the best mercenaries, which was Bravos, and then they worship the many-faced gods, which is everyone is worshiping this god unknowingly. And in the show, they talk about how everyone is worshiping the many-faced God unknowingly, which that's what we're doing right now in the world. Doesn't matter if you're Catholic, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, any religion, you are under the many-faced God, folks. Okay, that's what it is. And so, see, Atari, you add it all up. It's again, it's 9/11 is essentially symbolic of Janus. And that's why, when you look at what happened when the towers went down and stuff like that, it was a ritual to Janus. Okay, so, this stuff, this is a Freemasons. If you understand Freemasons, which is essentially, they were the Masons, and the Masons were enslaved. They were the builders of the pyramids, which were enslaved by Pharaoh. And then they became the Freemasons. They freed themselves from being slaves. And now, essentially, if you understand today, is that these slaves, their history and things like that throughout, I don't know, these are from what I'm gathering from all the people I've been listening to, because I've been listening to all different theories, but what seems to be consistent is that these people, essentially the Freemasons and stuff, the Templars and all that kind of stuff, well, now they were able to kind of keep the royalists, the people that claim to be, God living the earth and stuff, well, they were able to kind of be greater than them and then keep them in power. So they kind of merged and had a peace. And that's why you have the Knights of the Garter, which is also Q, which Q is also representing of, essentially, you're looking at Ioannis again, which is also Isis. And Isis, again, Isis, you add it up. Look, ISIS. So you have 9, S, and 19. So 911, 911. And you add it all up together, it adds up to 11. And that's why when you see the Secret Service, Hitler had the SS. United States has the SS. We here in Canada, we have CSIS. So the SS again, which is ISIS, which is Ioannis. It's the same thing, folks. It's all, it's all fractal. It's all. So once you decipher this stuff, folks, you're going to realize, holy shit, once you understand the way they think and what they're doing and how they do it to us and their tactics, then you can defend yourself, because your greatest weapon lies within your enemy's mind. Okay. If you didn't know anything about, martial arts, if you're going to go, things like that, they say the greatest weapon lies within your enemy's mind. But really, once you know your own mind too, then you can know your enemy's mind. The more you know about who you are, know thyself, you'll know other people. The more you love yourself, the more you love other people. The more critical you are of yourself, the more you hate yourself, the more you're going to be critical of other people. That's why when you see right now what's going on with, the LGBT, I don't want to go into details, but right now with all the sexual confusions going on and stuff, well, a lot of these people can't accept who they are. They're denying their own reality, that, their own energy. So now when people come around, they feel insecure because they can't even accept themselves. So they feel like other people don't accept them. And that's why they're so insecure now. They're on their faces all the time, trying to convince us that it's okay to be like them and whatever. It's like, listen, I don't care. Do your thing. Just don't get in my face. That's all. And right now, I have no hatred towards these people whatsoever. Whatever. You want to do your thing, do your thing. But right now, I'm actually getting annoyed. Because it's too much now. It's okay, it's almost like they're trying to get everyone on board with this way of life, which is no, man, I'm not for it. I don't like to drive a Porsche. Don't try to convince me to drive a Porsche. I like my little Chevy Aveo. Okay, I'm good with that. It's good on gas. It's cheap on repairs. I can do the work myself. It's less headaches. I'd rather have peace of mind than fucking problems. So, oh man, yeah, I got so much to share with you guys, man. I've been doing so much research and thinking, and with what happened to me on Sunday, the shit I went through is crazy. Hey, Axiom, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, man. Hey, it's been so long, man. Oh, yeah, man. I saw we gotta get together, do a live stream together or something, man. It's been too long. For people to understand Axiom Curb community, man, when I started getting into all this stuff, man, we used to do quite a bit of things together, talk and have some chats. Good guy to listen to, guys. If you want to sign up to his channel, Axiom Curb community, check him out. Your mind will fill in the blanks. Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, it's just, Bill of Rights, not the Canadian Charter. Yeah, well, the Bill of Rights, Canadian Charter, these things, these are all just constitutions that are expressing natural and universal law, folks. Okay, it's all the same. It's all based upon the same values. If you look at the United States Constitution, you look at the Canadian Constitution, the UN Constitution, the Russian Constitution, you'll see it's all based upon the same values. It's all based upon understanding, number one, our freedom of expression, freedom of conscience, things like that. It's all the same, guys. So, and the thing is, these are just documents that are there to keep the people in government in check, right? They're there to guide them because people understood that most people who went into government, they've always been the criminals. That's why it's called the Criminal Code of Canada. It only applies to criminals, which governments have always been the criminals in history. They've always enslaved us. It's always been the criminals. So that's why they call it the criminal justice system, because government is criminal. It is. They engage in criminal activity. They monopolize violence. And a lot of these people, look with what's going on with the strike now. I guess it's over, but look at the attitude and the behavior you see from these people. A lot of times when I go and deal with government people, there's a lot of good people in there. Don't get me wrong, and I do meet some good, awesome people. But it's like a 50-50 thing. It seems to be that it's either I fall on the good, really kind man or woman, or hey, man, like they got an attitude. That's the thing. They use their body language to aggress you with their tonalities and no eye contact. You'll see a lot of that, man. And see those people, they need to be put in place. They need to be corrected to make sure, hey, man, you don't get the right to aggress people with your body language and your tonalities, okay? And it's not about being a snowflake or anything like that, but it's just about, hey, man, it's about mutual respect. That if I go and I'm on the phone and I'm hearing a message that, abusive and, discriminatory behavior will not be accepted, blah, 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 blah. But yet I'm getting it from the employee and I'm calling him out on it. Then I'm getting attacked for calling him out on it. That there's a problem. And that's what happens a lot of times. Like I deal with these kinds of people. I've been calling stuff. I got phone calls. I got recordings of these people acting like fucking children, like little spoiled brats. And I'm like, why did you get a job in the government if you cannot handle questions? Questions, simple, common sense questions. They lose their shit. It's wild. That's childish to me. I was okay. I think I have to look into Magna Carta thing now. Well, you can. I mean, the Magna Carta again is just another expression of natural and universal law. That's all it is. It's all just different, and the Magna Carta was essentially written by the barons, the property owners. Okay, so it was like, if you understand the laws, that back then, like, there were slaves. Slavery is still alive today. Like, there's no different. But I'm saying is that when you used to buy a property, it would come with slaves. It would just like the furniture, things like that. So when you wrote that Magna Carta, it only applied to nobility and people that had properties and merchants and things like that. Didn't apply to you and I. And then even today, the Magna Carta, well, if you go to court and draw from the Magna Carta, like it's really not that great of a document to go from. Your best, is you and I, everyone, like we are the law. You, me, everyone, Judge, we are the law. That's why when the government says they have the right, but you don't, they're committing fraud, because a government cannot have the right that you and I don't have, because the inherent jurisdictions of the court here in Canada, the United States, throughout the whole world, is all based on human rights. And that means that the power comes from we the people. So if we have the right, then that's how the government gets its rights. But if we don't have the right and the government gets itself its right, well, then no. If you say, well, if the government says it has the right, then I have the right, because our rights, the right and the power comes from we the people. So, right now I'm dealing, with the courts here in Canada. I'm going to change all this stuff right now. I'm working on it. I'm going to blow the fucking lid off of this stuff there with what happened there at the courthouse. Is that, see, Section 2B grants us, well, not grants us, but expresses the fact that we have the right to expression and, media, all that kind of stuff, to be able to, protect ourselves. That's what it's there for. So upon entering a courthouse, my Section 2B, is essentially violated. They essentially try to stop me from being able to express it 100%. And they're telling you through the Supreme Court decision that they're telling you that they are violating your right, but they're justifying it by saying that, they want to protect victims and things like that. But it's like, listen, guys, you cannot protect someone else's rights by taking away someone else's. It just doesn't work. It's just not how it works. Okay, it goes against very foundations of law. It's like if I go to court and I'm seeking the administration of justice, but then as soon as I walk in there, you're trying to take away essentially my number one right. Am I going to have faith in your ability to be able to recognize and uphold and protect my rights and freedoms? Of course not. So, these people, man, I'm telling you, like, the crown and the judges and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't have any hate towards these people, but I am critical of them. Okay. Because I think, they're doing the very bare minimum. They don't really care about law. They just care, I think, about themselves. If you look at lawyers and stuff, how like these people, I've never really enjoyed their company when I talk with them. For the most part, these people are arrogant. They think they know what they're talking about, but really they don't. And when they have a conversation with me, dude, it's like, they want to walk away. They run away from me because they're embarrassed. They're like, how come I don't know this? It's like, yeah, well, look into it. Stop being embarrassed. Stop letting your ego take over and be proud, and just humble yourself and look into this stuff and become a better man or woman and become better at your profession. Because right now here in Canada, we need you lawyers. We need you to fucking step up to the plate and start filing lawsuits against Trudeau and Theresa Tam, all the cabinet. I'm telling you, I'm going after them. I'm trying to get as much people to do class action lawsuits against these people for what happened in the last 3 years. Because what I've gone through, all the evidence I have, all the video evidence I have from these measures, the abuse I went through from many people and having no remedy and trying to be silenced. Hey guys, and I got a lot of patience because I think a lot of people I would have went through what I got, I think they would have freaking went crazy. Okay. So this needs to change, folks. And we need lawyers. We need people to wake up and essentially get out of the Bar Association. Okay. The British Accredited Registry, which is a private club. Any lawyer that joins that, whatever, you are essentially the enemy of humanity. You are essentially going against us. You're going against God's laws because essentially you're trying to enforce the Holy Roman Empire's laws, which is corrupt. Look at the Holy Roman Empire, folks. You ever do your research, do the history. Okay. It's nothing to be proud of. Okay. The Holy Roman Empire are scumbags. They were the rapists, the thieves. They used to go and pillage. They were bad people. Okay. Very, very bad people. Okay, I would never be proud to say that I was part of the Holy Roman Empire. When you look at, the mafia, things like that, where do you think that comes from? It's all the Templars. It's all the same thing. The police and the mafia, at the top of the pyramid, they're getting the orders from the same fucking people. Okay? It's all the aristocrats that run who do you think is the leader of the Hells Angels? King Charles III. He's the top. Okay, so, now here we are in Canada. Well, when you go to court, it's King Charles III is bringing claims against you but yet he's the leader of the Hells Angels. What's going on here, man? So, all you police out there and all the military, you're sporting your gang symbols that you don't understand. Well, wake up because you're part of bad things. I'm telling you, you're going to go in a bad place when you die. Guaranteed, 100%. Mark my words. You'll remember me. If you're hearing this, you'll remember me. When you're going through your dying process, you'll think back and like, fuck me. Yeah, you're going to be worried, and you should be. And that's why I'm here. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to help you guys. I'm like McCall in The Equalizer. I'm here. I'm putting you guys on notice. I'm going to give you an opportunity here under God as my witness and the people in the chat. I'm giving you an opportunity to do the right thing. Wake up and stop pushing this nonsense upon us. I'm giving you the opportunity. But if not, I'm coming for you. I'm going to expose you. I'm not going to use violence. I'm just going to use my words. I'm just going to use my words. I'm going to shine my light so fucking bright, you're going to get blinded so fucking much you won't even be able to see, you won't be able to defend yourself against me. I promise. Okay? And like I said, guys, I got nothing but love and peace in my heart, but I got the anger, the blue flame of anger inside of me that's fueling me too. I'm a warrior, okay? And I'm out there. I'm trying to do things. I'm dealing with some health issues, which makes it challenging, but I'm still going to put myself out there. Still going to go out there. And I'm calling out people. Let's go, man. Stop being cowards. Learn this shit. Come with me. I don't want to be your leader, okay? I don't want to be no one's fucking leader, okay? Remember this. I do not want to lead nobody. All I want to do is be a brother to you guys and help you understand things, and that's it. I don't want to be the boss of anybody. I don't want to, but I will walk the path, and if you want to walk along with me side by side, I'm down with that. And that's what we need to do. We need numbers, folks, because right now, everyone's all over the place. We need to focus on one thing and what the root problem is to all of this, and we need to understand the law. Okay, number one is the law. So learn this shit. Okay, learn the symbols, learn all that stuff, and understand that the law is expressed symbolically. Okay, and learn the gematria, the numerology, the symbolism. Look into it. Don't worry about statutes. Okay, don't go there. Okay, statutes are just gonna confuse you more than anything. Go just to natural law. If you go watch Mark Passio, okay, he's got natural law seminars that he's got. That's a really good place to start. You want to listen to Santos Bonacci? That's that guy, man. Like I love that guy. I've been on his shows a few times. I've been with him. I spoke with him so many times. That guy, Santos, he's a true warrior here. Okay. David Whitehead is another guy. If you want to learn symbols, him and Michael Tessarion. He's actually here in Canada, out in Souk, British Columbia. Super cool guy is David Whitehead, man. I love that guy. There's so many people you can learn from, and the thing is that there's so many solutions out there for us, but we're just not focusing on them, and we're letting ourselves be distracted, and there's so much noise and stuff like that, and everyone's trying to come up with solutions, but not really understanding that they're not going about it the right way. And I'm not saying I'm like better than anybody. I'm not saying that at all. And that's why I'm putting myself out there, is that if I'm wrong about something, I want people to come and tell me and correct me, and then we can, focus on the solutions and all that. And that's what I like about What the Flock TV, is that he's got that mindset too. Is that, look, what I'm sharing with you, we need to, these are opinions and things like that. If I'm wrong, hey, let's talk about it, but let's not attack each other. Let's not get down on each other, right? We start looking to find where they say it's up to our government to keep us safe, as everything seems to be for our safety, internet health. Yeah, of course. That's always going to be the claim of tyrants, is our safety. Okay, they always claim that, they're trying to protect us, which is like, listen, the obligation for us to protect is on me. Like, if I have to protect myself, my family, it's up to us. You have to protect like yourselves, and then by protecting yourself and then being neighborly, then you can protect each other and look out for one another, right? It's like in the West they have a saying is one hand washes the other, and in the East they have the saying is similar. It's one hand watches the other. So it's a little bit. It's both. Is that by watching each other's, and then by watching, like, we're keeping each other in check, but also helping each other too. Because if I keep you in check or you keep me in check and stop me from doing bad things, then you are looking out for me. You're not trying to bring me down. But a lot of times people say, well, you're trying to stop me from doing what I want to do. It's like, no, I'm just trying to help you realize that if you do what you do, go ahead, but there will be consequences. There will be people getting hurt, and people are going to react to it. And now you're going to have to deal with bigger problems. That's all I'm doing, right? So how am I the bad guy for telling you to watch your step? Don't step in the shit, right? How am I the bad guy? And a lot of people, what they do, they'll be pissed off because they're egotistical and feel like, oh, I should have seen that, and now he's making me look bad because I didn't see the shit there, so now I'm going to pick it up and throw it in his face. There's a lot of that mentality out there, folks. It's fucking crazy. And like, I'm sad for these people to feel and think that way, because it's ugly. It's really ugly. It makes it very challenging to deal with people like that, because it's like, it's aggravating. When someone doesn't want to get it, especially when there's so much evidence for them to be able to like clearly get it, but they just don't want to, because it's not in their best interest to get it. Maybe their profession or whatever is based upon them being ignorant of that. So if they're aware of it, now all of a sudden now they won't be able to do their job anymore, and they have to change career, and they don't want to do that. It's too much work. It's too much fucking work. Norman Charter. Okay. Needless to say, I can't seem to find that anywhere. The National Citizen Inquiry got their YouTube page suspended. Is that right? Fuck. Too much truth. Yes, we need always to stand up. Paralegal in Ontario can practice law. Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you do get a lawyer, if you do want to get a lawyer, you don't get them to represent you. You can actually call them and say, hey, you want to work on my team? I'm looking for someone to help me with, certain aspects of law that I'm not as good in, right? So, that's how you can go about it. And that's why I would suggest, like, you have every right to, you can go and hire a lawyer, but don't get him to represent you. Get him to work on your team, that you are not representing yourself, but you are defending yourself in court, that you are going to be there, and then you have them as someone that can kind of guide you in certain things, right? But don't get a lawyer to do all the work for you, because that just shows that you're incompetent. That's all it's showing in the courts, and that's why they won't respect you, and they'll kind of like, and then the lawyer's going to make decisions for you that you're not going to be happy with, I'm sure. So, leader of the Ha? What do you mean by that, Barry? One hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. Yeah, there you go. I like that. It's true, eh? Yeah, it is true. So so I wanted to talk about that. Just essentially to help you guys realize how important it is that your voice, your word, your freedom of expression, how important it is, and how it's symbolized. And then anytime when you deal with anybody from government that tries to silence you, you tell them you're trying to kill me. I fear for my life right now. And then they'll look at you and they'll be shocked. Like it's a shocking thing to say. So it's how's that? Well, if you try to take away my voice, you're taking away my life. That's what I need my voice to express myself. If you take that away, you're practically you're killing me. You're making me into a slave, which a slave is essentially someone that's morally dead. That's what it means. Is that they have no morals, they have no principles. Really, they're just giving it up and giving someone else the reins to their mind, and that's it. That's what it is. So you're morally bankrupt. No one should ever take advice or any kind of from a slave. So police, sorry guys, I can't listen to you. Can't listen to you. I can't take any advice from you. I respect you, love you, and all that stuff. But the uniform you wear and what you guys do, because you guys, I know you're a slave. You're actually the biggest slave on the planet. You're the perfect slave for Pharaoh. That's why I'm critical of you guys, and I need to reach out and wake you guys up because I really feel bad for your situation. I really do. I wouldn't want to be there, and if I was, I'd want someone to come and wake me up and get me out of my fucking nonsense. And that's what I'm doing, folks. And I'm gonna be there with love and kindness. I'm gonna try to be as strong as I can with that. And I know these people are gonna try to antagonize me and things like that. So, Hell's Angels, okay, yeah. Exactly, man. Well, look it up if you check out, look up, just type in Google who is the leader of the Hell's Angels. It's one of you have to do check out some of the all the articles and stuff. You gotta have to look into it, but you're gonna see it's all because it's all Freemasonic shit, man, guys. Like everything that's in the world, the Freemasons run everything. Okay, so if you understand, United States of America was a Freemasonic product. Canada's a Freemasonic product. Look at our flag. Look, it's representing of Janus. Okay, it's the two pillars with the maple leaf in the middle, which is symbolic of the fleur de lis, which the fleur de lis is the three faces of Janus. And always remember the three faces you see, you have the past, present, and future. There's the hidden one and behind that you don't see. There's always the hidden element. So there's a concept of 3 and 4. So, these are things, guys, like I'm telling you, this is how they think. Okay, this is not me or this is what their system's all about. This is their symbolism. This is how they do things, right? And if you look at everything that's been done, you'll see there's a pattern that keeps repeating itself. They use material in a certain pattern that you can just see that it's consistent, and you'll see repeat itself. And if you see something that's consistent enough, well, then something's consistent, you can give it credibility that, okay, there's got to be some truth to it, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have a saying, it's called master the one eye in order to foresee. No, sorry. Master the eye and the 4 C's in order to master the one eye and foresee better. So essentially is ICCC. So it's intention. Then you have intention, consistency, clarity, and in creation. Sorry. Oh, this is a long time I haven't done this. So yeah, intention, consistency, clarity, creativity, and credibility. That's it. So you need to be your intentions. You need to know what they are. Be consistent with them. The more consistent you are with your intentions, the more clear they become to yourself and to others. The more clarity you have, the better you are equipped to be creative with your intentions. Sorry, it was creative. And then the last one, oh my God. Anyways, trying to get so much information. I'm trying to remember here, guys. So anyways, at the end is you're consistent. By being consistent, you're going to be clear. You have clarity. And then you have confidence. Once you have that confidence, then you'll be able to create better. Okay, so that's, these are things. So when I use that for myself, but I also use it for when I deal with other people, I say, well, what's his intention? What is he consistent at? Is it pretty clear? Okay, he's pretty confident in what he's doing. He's doing quite a bit. He's being pretty creative with that. That's what he's creating right now. So same thing with Justin Trudeau. I can evaluate this guy's intentions just by seeing what he's consistent at and how things are clear to me right now, that what he's been doing and what he's been doing. He's been pretty confident and arrogant with what he's doing, and now what is he creating? Well, I can see what he's creating. He's creating a lot of nonsense, a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, a lot of problems right now. And as you can see right now with all these movements, with there's attacking people there with that rainbow flag and things like that. That's just another form of antagonizing us, folks. Okay, they're trying to piss us off. Look, they're pissing off the parents in the schools right now, pissing off a lot of people, creating a lot of division to take away from the actual problems in the world. So it's bad, man. Oh yeah, well yeah. Here, I'll give you my email right here. There you go, charles.denme@gmail.com. Yeah, get in touch with me there. Send me an email. I'll get back to you. Sorry, guys, if I try to be, on the internet, to check stuff and whatever. I read your comments. Sometimes I want to reply, but then I get distracted with other stuff, and then I forget to come back. And so, but I read your comments. I really appreciate them, and then when I can comment, I will. It's just I got so much things I'm trying to work on, and I've been dealing with health issues where I'm feeling tired a lot. I don't know what it is there lately. The last 3 weeks, man, I've been feeling super tired. I feel like I want to go to bed all the time. I'll be up for 2-3 hours doing stuff, and all of a sudden I feel tired. Then I'll go lay down for 15 minutes, try to, and then 2-3 hours later I feel the same ways, and sometimes I'll sleep a little bit more. I've been having bad sleep patterns there, so I'm trying to change that, and then try to be consistent at more being out there, because I've been doing a lot of talking and research and stuff. And now, last summer, I went out there, tried to be more boots on the ground. I didn't have as much equipment as I wanted to, for cameras to protect myself, because I need a witness. And so, this year I'm going to try to work and make it a lot better, So, hey, Dana, how are ya? Welcome. So, yes, please. And I remember it's Tom. Please get in touch with me, bro. I miss our conversations, man. It was good times. And I know you're out there in England, so we can work together. You can do your part in England, and I can do mine here, and try to get things going. That's the thing is I want to start working on is I need someone to help me with the administration process of doing notices of liabilities. Just getting these things, this paperwork done, getting just templates and stuff to set up, and then I just want to go downtown, go to Ottawa and Parliament. I want to hand it to all people in cabinet. Not only them, I'm going to call out the people that protect them, PPS, their security detail, calling them out, saying, "Hey, you guys are going to be responsible. I'm giving you an opportunity to step down and stop protecting him. You continue, your names will be in the lawsuits, and we will be coming after you. We'll be coming after your pensions. Okay, and if we can, we will put you away. We will put you in jail, because what happened in the last 3 years, okay." I'll tell you guys, it's heinous. It's horrible. It's disgusting. Okay, it's disgusting, and something needs to be done. And I'm not gonna stand by and do nothing. Okay, those days are over. And you know what? I'm not impressed here in Canada when it comes to our police and military. I'm really not impressed. Okay, you guys are a bunch of fucking losers in my opinion. And it's not an opinion; it's actually a fact. Okay, because once you realize and look into what's been going on here in Canada, you'll find out that really you are losers. You guys are the biggest losers in the world. It is the police and military right now, because our governments, our police, our politicians, the bankers, these corporations, all these fucking people there that have all the money. You're looking at Jeff Bezos, all these people. These are smaller compared to the people behind the scenes, behind the curtain, but you guys have allowed these people to really trespass against all of us in a bad way. Really bad way. You've allowed it, and you're supposed to be there to protect us. That's what you swore an oath, but you failed miserably. And I'm here to call you out, and I will put out notices of liability to show you that you are in breach and dishonor of your obligations and duties to the international covenant. But not just that, to God and to yourselves and to your family, more importantly. Okay? So, and we need to all have that courage to go out and call them out. When you see a police on the street, go have a conversation with them and be nice, be kind, be respectful, and just share this information with them. Let them know what they're part of. Ask them about their symbols. Get the conversation going. I'm sure they're going to start talking to their colleagues about, hey, this guy just stopped me with a camera on the street asking me about my symbols, and I felt stupid because I didn't know. I didn't know what to answer. Well, how come we don't know our symbols? That's what I'm looking for, is the people that have actually think enough of themselves within the police and military to start saying, yeah, you know what? He's right what he's saying. I should know my symbols. I should know them. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for reactions of them being at odds with me. I don't want to be their enemy. I don't want that. That's not what I want. I want to be their friends. I want to be their brother. But unfortunately, a lot of these people are just, they don't think much of themselves. And because they don't think much of themselves, they don't think much of others. And especially those who come along with truth and try to help them, they're going to look at them as the enemy. Because when you make someone reflect badly on themselves by asking common sense, critical questions that they can't answer, it's an overwhelming effect, and people get a little uncomfortable, and they can be a little out of control inside of them when that happens. I know, I'm guilty. I think we're all guilty of it, right? So, all right. Yes, please do email me, brother. Me too. Did that again today. Just tired of napping every couple of hours, at least a little. Okay, really, eh? Well, I know that a lot of people have been telling me that they've been feeling low energy, and I don't know if it's because of the 5G networks too that's going on there. Like I know there's the airwaves are being polluted right now with new frequencies and things like that. So, like who knows? And with all the nonsense there with a medical procedure that's been forced upon us in the last 3 years, I think that doesn't help either. I don't go there. I didn't get but oh yeah, it's just funny. They call it the jabo, the jab. It's just so funny. It's representing of Jason and Boaz, which is the two pillars of Jason and Boaz. See, guys, like it's all there, man. It's consistent. It's and that's not a coincidence, folks. If you think that's coincidence, I'm sorry, but there's no such thing as that many coincidences. Something, especially when it's always being on, being used against us in that sense, right? So. It's like, the two pillars of Hercules, when he brings down the two pillars, Samson, all that. It's the same thing. It's all that. Have you heard of Hammerhead Garage channel out of the East Coast? No, I haven't. Hammerhead Garage. I'll check that out. I think they are doing what you're referencing about the courts. Is that right? Well, that's the thing, because, even the courts, you have to understand what the court is synonymous with church. Okay, so when you go into court, you're going into a church. Okay, so if you're part of the Catholic religion and all that stuff, well, what is your constitution? Is the Bible. That's the Constitution. So when you go to court, you're going under the Holy Roman Empire, the Church of the Holy Roman Empire. That's all it means. So, really, you don't want to be going into court. That's not really what you want to do. What you want to do is essentially you're putting people on notice to avoid having to go there and give them the opportunity to do the right thing. That's how the law works, folks. You're not supposed to be suing people and not giving the opportunity to correct themselves. And if you go and you say, hey, you caused me harm or injury, and this is what I ask of you, then again, you're going against the principles of justice, because you're supposed to give them the opportunity that you show the evidence that the harm's been caused. This is what it is. Now it's up to them. Okay, yeah, you're right. I did cause you harm. Okay, I need to offer remedy. So now it's up to this. Well, okay, so I want to offer remedy. I apologize for what I've done. Would this be okay if I offer da? And then you're like, well, that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? It's more than reasonable. You don't have to do this. That, it's okay. Don't worry. Thank you for doing the right thing. And boom, you shake hands, and that's it. That's how it's supposed to be. But if I start going after you and tell, oh, you did this to me, and this is what I asked of you, and I own your ass now, and you're in dishonor, and you're not setting off good vibes, because you're not trying to make an enemy. Because if I go after someone that way, I'm going to make an enemy. Because if I take away their livelihood and put them in a bad position, which they don't really need to be there, because the injury wasn't that as severe as as severe as the remedy I'm seeking, then I'm causing them injury. Now what do you think is going to happen? They're going to feel negative thoughts towards me. And now I'm not going to think, well, negative. I'm going to think, well, maybe that person's going to come after me now because I held them to account, but I went too much, right? So when you deal in law, things like that, when it comes to your neighbors, your friends and family, whatever, you always want to act honorably in the sense that you want to give them the opportunity to realize that, show them the evidence that they are wrong, and then they can act on their own volition to correct themselves and offer remedy. That's how it's supposed to be, folks. And that's what you should always do all times before going to court, and try to avoid going to court and make it so compelling that they don't want to go to court. That's essentially what it is, especially when you do have the evidence that's so overwhelming that they can't argue it, then they're not going to go to court because it's going to be more expensive for them. So that's the idea, folks. I'm trying to do this not having to go to court. I'm trying to do this in a brotherly fashion of, first I want to reach out, express to them how they're causing harm to not just to all of us, but to themselves, and then give the opportunity to correct themselves and do the right thing. That's what we all need to do. And then at that point, if they don't want to do the right thing, well, then we can go and move on to the next level and whatever and stuff, right? But at this point, that's how it has to be, folks. Okay, that's how it should always. Even when the police, and the crown and everything, when they come at you and bring you to court, and they don't go to mediation before, they're actually going against the principles of fundamental justice. You should not bring anything to court if it would have been able to be resolved through mediation. That's against the law. And what do? They do it all the time. They bring us into equity, take away from the mediation of being able to give me the person, the defendant, the opportunity that, okay, well, the evidence is there. Give me the opportunity. Don't tell me what you're seeking as remedy, that, oh, you want 6 months prison and this much. No. It's up to the Crown to say, listen, this is what the evidence we have. This is the harm and injury that you've caused. We're giving you an opportunity to offer remedy and acknowledge that you did cause harm. But they don't do that. They try to deal with you, and then what they do is that now they're claiming ownership on you to the fact that you did break the law or whatever. Now they're putting you into a slave, which is wrong. It's dishonorable. It's disgusting. It's not how it should be. It goes against the laws of nature and God. You do not do that. You need to fucking give people a chance to correct themselves. If you don't, you're in dishonor. And that's all it is, folks. And this is the years I've been doing this, man. I've been telling you, I've been listening to a lot of people. I listen to everybody's perspective on law. And I'll tell you something, but what I've gathered is that's I'm not saying that what I'm saying is 100% correct, and, but I'm on the right path. I know I'm on the right path. And I keep learning every day, all the time. My arsenal keeps fucking building up as I go, and I keep humbling myself to understand, Shal, you don't have all the answers, and as much as you may think like you're pretty fucking good right now, humble yourself. And that's what's the most important thing in all of this, is maintaining a level of humility that's healthy in order to be able to be a solution to the problems. Because a lot of people out there, what happens, man, we get too caught up, it gets to our head, and next thing you know, man, we're off the path. So, and that's why I'm reaching out, is because to make sure also that, hey, you guys, I care about you, I love you, and I appreciate your support. And the best way you can support me is making sure that you're critical of me, and making sure that if I do walk off the path, you call me out. That's what I want more than anything from my peers, from the people that are around me. That's 100%. I tell that to my family. I tell all my friends. If I do something that pisses you off, that or that you see that is wrong, or whatever, you bring evidence to me and show it. Thank you. I will correct it immediately, and I will work on it. I may fight you and challenge you and whatever at first, but I will think about it, and I will play with it, and I will change my ways, and I will, because that's what I want to do. I am loyal to truth. I'm loyal to truth. That's it. That's all I want truth in my life, and I want to just walk upon truth, because that's what gives me life. I don't want to go towards death. I'll get there eventually. I don't need to force it. So, all right, guys. It's about an hour there. I've been streaming. Feeling a little tired. Probably just going to go eat something and maybe do a workout, but I will be consistent. During the week, I'll try to do another live stream. Pretty soon, once I get my camera stuff, I'm getting like GoPros. I'm going to try to make like an outfit that I got cameras everywhere kind of thing. So like I'm backed up, and I'm going to try to do live streams. So when I go downtown, I will be approaching police. I will be trying to reach out to cabinet members. I'm going to try to see if I can get Justin Trudeau to come and talk. Hey, Justin, I don't hate you, bro. I got nothing but love for you. I'm concerned, man. I'm concerned about you. Don't seem to be feeling right. You don't see it. So don't worry. Help's on the way. You and your friends there, you all seem to be, not feeling so well. So help's on the way. We're coming. We're going to help you out, man. We're going to share some things on how you can become a better man and be, you can't be a leader anymore. You've proven that. You shit all over that. And so, but, we can help you out in some ways. And then also we'll make sure that you don't hurt anybody else ever again. All right. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Here, I'm just going to read the last few. So I just found them about a week ago. Okay. So So yeah, Hammerhead Garage. I'll check that out. They serve officials. They have no authority or jurisdiction. Yeah, well, they're right, 100%. Because see, Canada is considered a de facto government. So when you look at de facto, it means illegitimate but in effect. The only reason that they're, is because no one's challenged it. Like, and even when you go to court, there's actually been tactics that people use that saying, well, the court is a de facto government, you're illegitimate, but in effect, so I don't recognize the jurisdiction, right? So there's a lot of people, but one thing you guys should read to really understand here in Canada, the process and how to really, give a good guidance is Meads versus Meads. This is case law. Meads versus Meads. There we go. So check that out. It's all about these kinds of litigants and all these tactics have been used that failed. But then if you understand how it works here in Canada, there are ways you can get in. There's just knowing how to use the Constitution, that like understanding what those papers are and what they mean and how it means symbolically. Once you do that, and then again, you got to realize that the lower courts, the judges in the lower courts, they're not the cream of the crop, folks. Okay, like they're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and they do, and some of them are not that good. They're not that well educated. So a lot of these people are corrupt, things like that. So when you get to the higher courts, like the Supreme Court and things like that, just as long as everything's on record that you did everything right, well, then the Supreme Courts are going to have to come back and say, well, look, you fucked up, guys. And they're going to offer remedy. You don't even have to ask for it. They're going to say, because they fucked up here, blah, 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 this is what you're entitled to, and they're going to give it to you because they're supposed to respect your rights and freedoms, folks. And they're supposed to follow the law, not their opinions. And there's a law that's all in place. Those statutes and everything are in place for them to make sure that they're following the process, not for you. So when they try to apply statutes and things like that, well, if you're a legal person and you go to court and you're actually under as a legal person and you want to be recognized, then yeah, they will apply to you. But as soon as you stand under your actual, as a God-given creature, that you are a man, that you're not a legal person, you don't want to be recognized as a legal person, they have to recognize that. They have to, understand that you are not a public entity. You are in your private capacity. So this stuff, but it's all new to me. I sure have been seeing more of it. Well, and Prairie, the more you expose yourself to it, the more you listen to it, the better you're gonna get at it, and then express it too. Like share the stuff with the people around you. Talk about it. The more you do that, the better you become at expressing the material, and not only that, you become it. Like you actually are going to be the embodiment of law. That's what I'm working at. Like I don't practice law. I perfect it. Okay. So all these lawyers out there practicing law, yeah, they're still practicing and they haven't, I'm working towards perfecting it. That's what I'm working towards. I practice makes perfect. But if you're a 20-year fucking lawyer and you're still practicing, you should have achieved a certain level of perfection. So right now, that's what I'm working on is perfecting the law, becoming the law, which we are already the law, but knowing that you are the law, that you can express it just as much as a police officer can, that a police gets his rights and freedoms and whatever authority that he thinks he has comes from human rights, our God-given rights, we the people. That's where, so when a police says that you don't have the right to do something, but he has, you say, listen, you cannot have the right and me not have the right, because your power, your authority comes from we the people. Okay. And that's how you got to talk to these people. And see, and when you say those things, it does not compute, sometimes they're going to get, but just maintain calmness and just say, hey, I'm not trying to bring you down here. Always remember to say, I'm reaching like a brother. When you say those things, it kind of brings down their defense. So, a lot of times anyway. Sometimes, some of these people, they don't want to be your brother. And they're supposed to act like your brother, because one of the articles is supposed to act like a brotherhood. And so if you say, hey, brother, to the police, he said, don't call me that. Well, he's in breach and dishonor of his obligations and duties to the International Covenant. Because he's supposed to be a brotherhood. He's supposed to act like a brotherhood, like a sisterhood, like a fraternity. Essentially, we're all brothers. Brother means from broth, which is we're all from the same broth, the same soup, the same, that's why we call it brothers. So, okay. Anyways, guys, I got to go. I got to eat some. I got to do a workout because otherwise I'm just going to pass out. I'm feeling so tired. So I'm going to work out, get my blood running and stuff like that. Keep this body as a warrior shape. As much as it's good to keep your mind, it's good to also keep physically shaped, right? Because, land, air, and water. Yes, the law. It's an acronym. That's why it's spelled all big case letters. LAW is land, air, and water. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty symbolic. So, Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. And if there's anything you want to share with me, please always share with me. Send me an email. It's charles.denime@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys. Love you. And stay strong. If anytime you need to talk with someone, if you feel down or whatever, just reach out to me. We can live stream. I can talk with you. We can Skype, whatever. So I'm here for you. All right. One love, guys.